and the show will start in 25 seconds as we go out live to Facebook and YouTube. If you found us, thank you. And this is a brand new show, which we'll tell you more about in 10 seconds.
Oh, and counting.
Indeed. Yeah. And we're live. Definitely live.
Hey.
That's going to disappear. Hello, Nick.
Hi, Stephen. Great to be here back on a Monday. Our usual slot, 3 p.m, 10 a.m.
It is correct. And it's 4 p.m. in Belgium, if Chris is watching. Yeah, and 5 p.m. in South Africa, if Brigitte is watching. Because we are global. I mean, with the shows last week, we went around the globe. And it's just fascinating how far this live video reaches, isn't it?
Oh, it does. It goes everywhere. And that was quite funny on the show that I had on Thursday. I think I had Lottie, and Lottie just reeled off absolutely all these different time zones. I'm thinking I struggled so often with 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. UK.
Well, that's it. With Lottie having lived in Hong Kong and Far East, New Zealand, around there, she's been brought up with it really. Whereas we've had to learn it. But I mean, live broadcasting works on, well, for me, it works on the Eastern clock. And the only time I get confused is when the clocks change at different times. Yeah. That confuses me, because there's only a 4-hour gap.
Yeah, that is so weird, isn't it? I remember years ago, even we used to be a little bit off from Europe at one stage, but then it all got centralized. But to think that there's still time zones which change and we don't all change on the same day.
Yeah, well, true. The thing we forget is that the fact that we have the time system we have now is down to the railways and shipping. In the UK, before the railways came, the time in Edinburgh was different from the time in Glasgow, which was different from the time in London. And when they started to run intercity trains, steam trains, of course, it played havoc with the timetable, because nobody knew which 3:10 it was. Was it 3:10 in Edinburgh or Glasgow or London or Manchester or Birmingham? Everybody had different times. So the railways said, we can't do this. This is not going to work. We're going to have a standard time for the whole of the UK. And they passed an act of parliament, and that's how we got our time, GMT. And the other thing, that we ruled the waves once of a day, and the clock actually goes from Greenwich Mean Time. Greenwich is the start of time. Yeah. I read a fascinating book about it, but as things are, I've actually forgotten the guy's name.
I know. Well, I knew about Greenwich, but I didn't know about. I didn't know we had a different time zone to Scotland.
Oh yeah, Manchester, Birmingham, all Liverpool, all had different times. Only minutes different, but different nonetheless, because of the. Yeah.
How crazy!
And say hello to Brigitte.
Hi, Brigitte. Oh, and can we say a massive thank you as well, Brigitte?
We can say a big thank you, I think.
Yeah, huge thank you. If you're looking, check this out. The live video production weekly, the new banner, thumbnail. Yeah. Oh, it just looks so good. And Brigitte, you just made it as quick as you did, and it looks amazing. And not only just for us, you made it for lots of others as well. So we're all on brand and on point. It's superb. Love
Indeed. I totally agree, Nick. I mean, the design knocked it out of the park. And back to Brigitte, time zone changes can make for interesting mix-ups. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. And we've had those over the years where you schedule the show and realise that you're an hour out, and you actually invite a guest, and it doesn't matter, apart from the fact your guest turns up an hour late, in which they don't actually appear on the show. And we say hello to Corinda. Corinda.
Hey, hi, Corinda.
All right, okay, you found us anyway, and thank you for that. And over to Brigitte, and Brigitte.
Oh,
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Brigitte. And over Corinda.
Hey.
Right, indeed. Corinda, as
Cool.
you're listening, I have a show at 5 p.m. tomorrow. I would like you to join me. I will send you a link. So make sure you're free at 5 o'clock tomorrow to join me on Q&A with Steven. And who knows what's going to happen.
Ooh.
Oh, that's.
Ooh, you tease.
But I wanted to invite Corinda the day before, so he actually. All right, okay. Well, we've switched from BeLive in 5 to live video production. Basically, this is the home base now.
Yeah.
This is where everything happens. BeLive in 5 started because of BeLive, but everybody's using so many different systems now that the name, and we didn't want to move it, didn't want to lose it entirely, but all the main shows, Fonz and I will be on BeLive in 5 later, but all the shows that are in relation to live video production will be on the live video production site. So this is a new broadcast, and the idea is to keep in touch with you because we're on a run up to the live video production blueprint, and we didn't want you to forget about us. So we're going live every Monday at 3 p.m. to discuss basically what's happening during the week and look forward to what's coming up.
Absolutely.
And Corinda said definitely, so that's good.
Hey, well done, Corinda.
And saying hello to Brigitte. And
yes, yeah, Corinda and I, we got a show on Wednesday. Corinda invited me, 1 p.m. Actually, I'll share the quick story if you don't mind. Corinda,
okay.
Corinda invited me. I said, yeah, absolutely. Gave her a big thumbs up and big hearts. Absolutely lovely. And then a bit later on this afternoon, I got a message from Corinda saying, "Oh, you didn't like my show then?" And I'm thinking, "Oh my God, what have I done? Have I pressed the wrong button?" I mean, I've got on my phone, I've got podgy fingers, so it does happen. And I started quickly messaged back saying, "Corinda, oh God, I'm so sorry." And then Corinda messaged back saying, "No, wrong person." So it's easily done. But yes,
okay.
not quite sure what the show's going to be about, but I'm sure we'll make it fun, whatever happens. So.
Yeah, just brush up on your Formula One because Formula One starts in Australia soon.
I know. Well, I tell you, interesting because I've gone a little bit off. I mean, I was mad for it over the Schumacher, Mansell years and Senna and stuff. And then I did kind of get a little bit boring over. And no disrespect, because I love Lewis Hamilton as well. I think he can only do what he can do, and or Sir Lewis as he is now. But even for me, he was getting a touch boring, and my wife couldn't believe it when I actually didn't stay up and watch the opening Australian race last year. She said, "No way, you're going to go to bed and stay and sleep." I said, "Yeah, I really am." So,
I was
sorry, year before that wasn't last year.
Yeah. I even had the Formula One app at one stage, so you could actually follow the timings on the app. Even if you couldn't watch it, you could follow the race and you could imagine what was happening. Back to Corinda. Corinda is saying that it's about broadcasting week. Nick.
That's it. Yes, yes.
Which one?
This is this week, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. Is that Haps TV?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, because that's another broadcasting.
I know. It's like one I've not tried yet. There's some great third-party software out there, and it's fun to actually just see what they're all doing, and some are different, and that's one of the joys of live broadcasting, isn't it? You use different pieces of kit which do different types of things, or do similar things but in a slightly different way, and they've all got their own little nuanced bits that we really love. We just get one that encompasses everything.
Yeah, they've all got their own features, and if you took the best bits of each, then you'd have an amazing system. But I went over to apps yesterday just to have a look around, just to keep my eye, and I just happened to notice that Corinda has over 500 followers on there.
Ooh,
which is quite an achievement. So congratulations on that, Corinda.
Yeah, well done.
Next from Corinda. Right, he's got the F1 up. There's new TV. Well, we'll all go as far as we know, for March for Formula One later this month.
Well, that's the market now as well.
Yeah. So, Haps TV. I think I can put it in.
Haps TV.
Yeah, that's, if I can spell it correctly. If you want to, if you want to put a link to your page, Corinda, please do. On Haps. Yeah, but that's the. There you are. That's where to go. Right, now the important thing is that whilst you're watching Nick and I today, we are but part of a team. And I'm just going to try and find the right graphic. Or the wrong graphic. Just a minute.
Yeah, a big team. And
I've
recently joined it, a very cool team as well. I mean, crikey, some amazing people.
Oh, this one. I'll try this one. Okay, we're actually, again, this is another Brigetti graphic, and we are part of a large team. And last week we spent the week with Tina, Marco, me, Brigetti, Joe, Lillian, and Nick, Debbie Burrows, Lottie Hearn, and Linda Sunshine West. And the 9 out of 10 of us were actually on screen at some point during the week. The unfortunate thing is that at the moment, Tina doesn't have access to Facebook, so it's very difficult. But that's the thing. If you lose your access to Facebook, it's very difficult to keep in touch with people.
It is, and as you know, last year I was only thrown off for 10 hours, but my goodness, it felt like a lifetime because it wasn't just Facebook; it was Messenger as well. And I said to you, Stephen, I couldn't believe how much or how many assets I had that were Facebook related, and
yeah,
and so really give ourselves other options. That was a real lesson.
Yeah, you Facebook login as well.
Yeah.
We log into so many apps with Facebook. I know we shouldn't. Over to Corinda.
It's so easy though.
All right, okay, and that's Corinda's invitation to apps.
Brilliant. Yeah. Oh, she does amazing stuff, Corinda. She really does.
Okay, I can only say join the show tomorrow, Corinda. I'm not giving you any more information than that.
Corinda, there's a big hint there, Corinda. I'd join the show tomorrow.
Yes, an not too subtle hint. Yeah, so we had great fun last week, and we're going to start off this week by showing you a little bit of Melon. Now, what are your thoughts on Melon, Nick, as I take things off screen?
As you know, I'm a big BeLive TV fanboy, but Melon, having tested it and played around with it for the last few weeks, I've got to admit, I really enjoy using Melon. It is it's really intuitive. The interface is just a joy to work with, and it does some really clever little things like just literally dragging and dropping with your mouse to move screens around actually on the screens, and it just really, I don't know, it's got a lovely feel to it. It's easy to use, and also it, as I amazingly excellently demonstrated, it has that great feature where it keeps the stream going even when the host drops out and then comes back in, which was fantastic. And that's on the pro version, but it's just easy. You can schedule, and that was my first ever scheduled live stream into Twitch, sorry, which I've never done before, which was another cool thing. And then also you can get your own individual link as well. So potentially we could use that using some extra software where potentially we can go, and we'll probably demonstrate it, I'd imagine, on one of the shows, Stephen, is where we can actually live stream directly into our website. So we're not relying on YouTube or anyone else or Facebook, anyone else to actually to have our live streams. But I know we can live stream onto our website through YouTube, but that's still using that third party, which again, it's a free piece of software. You could lose access to it at any time. So there's ways that we can do that, and that's exciting because then you can build your audience on your website. And as someone who uses websites a lot and landing pages, if you can actually get someone coming to your website regularly, it is just a game changer, particularly if you're trying to sell things.
Well, yeah, totally. I mean, we could do that next week. It should be good, because I think it's the future. In fact, it was a whole topic for next week's show. So if you want to know about how to go to your website, join us next week and we'll show you a couple of ways of doing that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide myself. Okay. I'm going to hide that. I'm going to go picture in picture, probably the other way around.
That's it. Yeah,
I'm going to switch. This all takes some doing. I'm going to switch.
I know, it's great. So this was the live stream we did last week on Thursday using Melon. And I tell you what, I'm always blessed with some incredible guests. Lottie, one of the team, came on, and that's one of the first times I've actually met Lottie, and it was just great to get to know her. But actually, to get to know her whilst live streaming was superb. Obviously, my very dear friend Lucy Gilchrist, who I've known for several years, we've done lots of live streams together in the past, and will be in the future. And of course, yourself, Stephen, naturally, but also KM Robertson, who is a joy. I've chatted to her, never live streamed with her before, but she's having amazing success. She's an author. Actually, she's now becoming. They're making I can't remember how she described it now, but basically they're making an app of her story, characters, and her, which is incredible. But also she's a social media real guru. She goes out there and she finds out how to do stuff and does it really well, and then teaches mere mortals like myself who rock up and go, how does that work then? but she's amazing. But are we gonna play a little bit of the show, Stephen? See, now here's the thing, actually.
With my Robert Palmer look, 1980s, I'm aging myself, taking advantage of lockdown luxury lounge and bathing in the afternoon.
Oh, awesome! Well, thank goodness you've bathed. It's a clean show. Children could be watching, especially this time of day. So very important. Lottie, we were chatting. You've been kids TV. You train TV presenters as well. So you know your stuff. So we're talking about live stream confidence. Obviously, we live stream a lot, and KM and Lillian who are on, and Lucy, we all live stream a lot, so we do kind of have the confidence. But what are the big things what are you told that stops people from live streaming, or indeed just creating video?
It was really interesting, the conversation with you that we had earlier, and you were chatting about what you and Lucy are going to be talking about coming up later in the show. And you were saying that the research that you two have done in Facebook and the issues that people have come up with, I said, I've been doing this training malarkey since the late 1990s, on and off, over the years, and moving countries, and be from TV in Hong Kong and performing and acting years ago in the UK. So I've kind of been all over the world, but the same issues are the same truths that people feel for themselves everywhere in the world, and at every age and every skill level. And they are the same three issues. Number 3 is, where am I going to start? Where am I going to start with all of this? I don't know what I'm doing. Number 2, especially for video, and you'll know this, as will KM coming on later, everybody used to say, when I set up my business here in Ireland in 2010, 2011, as a video production confidence on camera, specifically coaching people who wanted to create their business videos, the second issue was always, it's going to be too expensive. To which the answer, as a live production person, always is, Nick.
Absolutely. What's your budget normally?
What depends on your budget. I thought you were going to say something like it depends on what you did. Depends on what you want to put as an output. If we're going to do Mega Max TV, it used to be so expensive.
Exactly.
But thanks to tools like this and the other tools we've been using this week, BeLive, StreamYard, Restream, and Steven, I think, is doing a show on OBS.Ninja tomorrow.
Ninja tomorrow, yes.
Yeah, but this melonapp.com, I'm loving what I've seen of it so far because it seems so simple. And there's some questions I'm going to have for KM when she comes in the show in a bit because there's so many different tools you could use. Like I've just joined up with Loom, which is a new broadcast. There's if you're a podcaster and you don't want your face to be on screen, which is very common, you're normal, then Clubhouse, get somebody to invite you to Clubhouse and you can be a voice of live. And it's just instantaneous. It's great. So that was number 2 issue. But the number 1 issue is always me on screen. That is the very, very normal reaction. And I'm one of the abnormal ones and have been for years since doing my kids' TV shows in the 90s in Hong Kong. But I was lucky enough to start with kids and animals. 2 things they always say, never work with kids and animals. But I was there in my dungarees and my baseball cap. That's why I come in red and purple and bright and orange and bright colours. Because I learned that until you can get to laugh at yourself, even when you're doing serious business, but serious business doesn't have to be all terribly serious. Laugh at yourself when it goes wrong, especially because tech mayors, as I call them, #techmayors, will happen to you live. Bridgetti had them on Monday. Hence, Steven said, Lottie, you're hosting. Quick, get in there. Threw me in the deep end.
Yeah, and it was very impressive.
Well, that's because I've been doing this for just a few years, Nick.
Yeah, it's not your first rodeo, is it? Let's be honest.
Oh, excuse me. And exactly that sort of thing. Always have a cuppa of something to get rid of the frog in your throat.
Yeah, water on tap, just in case. Another great tip. And that's
keeps your brain working.
Lottie really is an amazing broadcaster.
Oh, she is. She's so natural, and it's so funny watching it back, Stephen, because I was looking at it going, there's the amateur sitting there with just his name up there, and Lottie's next to him with a #Lottie Live. Oh yeah, I can learn a lot from Lottie.
We all can. We're very fortunate that Lottie is within our group and
totally
part of everything that we actually do.
And
in fact, it is an amazing team of people, as we know.
Absolutely, and that's the nice thing. And I genuinely think it came across in every show we did last week that we've all got a real passion and a love for what we do. That's I think that shows up big time. Yeah,
totally. There's some magic moments throughout the broadcast. So I'm going through at the moment, trying to get the best clips. And I'm spot for choice, really. Over to Corinda. And Corinda said this a while ago, but it's hopefully still. Corinda smiled. I think it was at Lottie.
Yeah.
Which is good. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we were planning to show 2 videos during this show, but I think we're running out of time to do them justice. So we'll hold over till next week, the second of our 5 shows. And we'll also cover next week how to go live on your website, because that's going to be increasingly important. We know people who've had problems on both Facebook and YouTube. We've had problems ourselves on Facebook and YouTube. It's copyright notices, things like that. When you're broadcasting to your own page, then there's nobody watching over your shoulder. You just have to be sensible about it. So we'll touch broadcasting to your website next week. So do tune in. This is going to be a regular show, isn't it, Nick?
Oh, it is. I think we can go in lots of different ways. There's so much to share when we're talking about live streaming and live stream production, that yeah, I think I don't think we're going to be running out of any content anytime soon. I think it's great, and I love the fact that we're we're in our new home, and I think it's fantastic. And this is where we can start to really build and share what we do. That's
true, and I thought I'd have a sort of single color background to match your single color background this week.
One day I should get my blue screen, green screen working.
Right now, a shout out to Marco Nova, who did his first show on Amazon today. We'll post a link afterwards. I was honoured to be the first guest on episode 0. I wasn't aware it was an episode 0, but he had an episode 0 today, which means that this was the practice, and next week it gets serious. But we chatted away for an hour on a variety of topics, including green screens, and it had a different feel to it than broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube. Don't know why. I mean, Marco had new graphics, but the content was good, and I think it's always going to be the content that's important, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's the thing. You can get away with anything if you've got good content. Then people will want to watch, and that's the even if you've got bad visuals, they can hear you okay. Then they'll just listen, and that's if you've got good things to say, good content, then people will listen and watch. Totally.
Yeah, and that was a major point. Thank you, Corinda. We're actually broadcasting in 1080p on BeLive. BeLive is the only place where you can play YouTube videos natively with a video player rather than a link, which we did with Nick's video from last Thursday. We'll do the same next week with my video from Friday. And BeLive allows you to play YouTube video, and that's one of the key features. We've decided at the beginning of last week that we'd play to the strengths of each of the broadcasting systems, and we'll continue to do that. So over the next few weeks, we will explore even more the 5 systems we looked at, and we might even coax Corinda to give us an overview of HAPS TV in a few weeks' time.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be good.
Right. Okay. It will, hopefully. Question from Corinda. Amazon Live, it's only for other country, not the UK. Yeah, Amazon Live at the moment is only for the States, which they've got to start somewhere, and I suppose States is a big country to actually start in. Now that they're getting more and more European broadcasters on there, hint, hint, we would love to be on Amazon. Might even apply. I mean, seeing how successful Marco's show was, but for the moment it's only Amazon.com. So that's a good point, Corinda. But even so, though it's Amazon.com, you can still watch it in the UK, and you can still click on the items that Marco was selling, and it says, sorry, you're not in the US. I'm going to take you to the UK site or the Spanish site or wherever. So it still works.
Oh, right. So that's good. So we'll divert you to your correct platform. That's really good.
Yeah. Well, it checks where you are against where it is, and it's all clever stuff, really. Yeah. So Amazon, here we come. But next week we'll be back.
Very quickly, can I quickly tell you did I tell you my Alexa story?
Let's go.
I got we were given an Alexa for Christmas a couple of years ago, and so we plugged it all in, and it came on, and it just started speaking German to me. And then I realised, of course, oh yes, I actually set up my Amazon account when I lived in Germany. So, but it took about a week for me to actually manage to work out how to get it to speak English. It was cool, but it was good fun. It made me speak German again for a while.
So, es ist Tschüss von mir und Nick.
And Tschüss.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you for watching. Take care. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Yeah. Take care.